But now here's a quirky fact. According to the Washington Post, searches for Donald Trump and abortion rose by some 4,000% on the US election day. Since then, the president-elect has made it clear that he is going to stick to his campaign promises to defund Planned Parenthood. This while signing a nationwide ban on abortions after 20 weeks, while nominating pro-life justices to the Supreme Court. As a result, tens of thousands of people are expected to march on Washington on January 21st, the day after Trump's inauguration, to protest against his policies on women. Joining me now from Washington is Vicky Supporter from the National Abortion Federation. Vicky, thank you so much for your time. Poll after poll confirm that the vast majority of Americans continue to support legal abortion. Yet despite this, the Trump administration seems determined to roll back these rights.
They are totally out of step with the majority of Americans in this country. He didn't win the popular vote. In fact, he lost it by nearly 3 million votes. So he has no mandate to turn back the clock on reproductive health, rights, or justice, and to endanger women's lives and health.
Do you think America truly understands what indeed is at stake?
I think that most people believe that Roe has been the law of the land for so many years, and that they really won't overturn our Supreme Court decision, and that abortion will continue to remain legal in the United States. But it's become increasingly inaccessible for women throughout the country, whether it be because of funding bans or different restrictions that put barriers in the way of women being able to access the abortion care that they need and that they want.
How much can this administration actually roll back in 4 years? I mean, keeping in mind that you're talking about federal and state laws as well.
Well, we expect them to move to repeal the Affordable Care Act, which will cause millions of women to lose their health care coverage, including their contraceptive coverage. We expect them to defund Planned Parenthood, and so that millions of people will not be able to access the primary and preventive health care that they need. We expect them to try to pass a 20-week ban on abortion, which is clearly unconstitutional. It failed in the last Senate, and we're hoping to be able to stop that from becoming law. They're also hoping to codify an amendment that prohibits federal funding for abortion care except in very narrow circumstances. And this discriminates against low-income women in particular. And instead of having to pass that amendment every year, they just want it to be settled law. And we were hoping, in fact, with a different administration, to actually repeal that amendment so that low-income women could have the same access to abortion care as other women in the country. And then there's the Supreme Court nominee that he's promised to appoint, who will be a conservative nominee that would vote to overturn Roe. This one nominee wouldn't change the balance on the court in that regard, and a case would still have to make its way to the court. But American women and men will not stand for our health and rights to be jeopardized. And so we won't stand for Roe v. Wade being overturned, and that's one of the messages we want to get across at this march after his inauguration.
One poll recently showed that 40% of Trump supporters believe women seeking abortions should be punished as well. Now, the president-elect has walked back from his earlier comment where he agreed with that statement. But is there a danger in this new environment that this indeed could still happen?
Well, if you're going to make abortion illegal, which I don't think is going to happen under this administration, we've had at least 4 Republican presidents that I can recall that have made the same promise to overturn Roe v. Wade. None of them have had that accomplished in their administrations. I don't think this will be any different. I don't see Roe v. Wade being overturned. I don't think that the public would stand for it. But if you did make abortion illegal, then the next logical thing would be to consider, what are you going to do for the women who will self-abort in any case? And will you put those women in jail? And there is no support in this country to incarcerate women for ending a pregnancy.
What do you hope that that march on Washington on January 21st is going to achieve? Will it be enough?
One march is not going to be enough, but what is very important about this march is its diversity and how many people from all diverse backgrounds and diverse issues that they're concerned about are coming together and letting this administration know that there's no mandate to roll back not only reproductive health justice and rights, but not immigration rights, economic equality for women, and a lot of the other issues that both women and men who will be at this march are concerned about. We don't want to turn back our hard-fought gains in the next 4 years, and we will not stand for it, and we'll do whatever it takes to make sure that this administration and this Congress understands that.